We ride together, we die together. We some petty bitches, boo. We holding it down, we straighten the crowns. Petty bitches and we coming to you. We ride together, we die together. We some petty bitches, boo. We holding it down, we straighten the crown. Petty bitches and we coming to you.
I can't remember the saying, but yes.
You can't remember anything, can you?
No, I can't.
I don't know why I'm being so petty.
Speaking of how petty you were being, we get to visit how the OG pettiness began. Yes. Welcome back to the PAB Podcast.
Hi, guys.
It is our 1 year anniversary. 1 year anniversary.
Didn't you just yell at me about saying that?
Okay, fine. It's not our actual anniversary today, but when we post it, it will be our anniversary.
I'm just saying, if you're going to yell at me about it.
Listen, yes.
Take a spoonful of your own medicine.
I admit my wrongdoings.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I can admit when I'm mature enough to admit when I'm wrong.
That's a first. Anyways. You love me. Anyways, welcome back to our show. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and TikTok now. Sorry, you interrupted me.
Sorry, your boobs were like
my
hitting...
boobs are in the way.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm like, bro.
Sorry, guys. They are. But anyways, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and TikTok as well at the PAB Podcast. You can follow me at Deshaka.
And me at Ariel.Hardy.
And then make sure you hit the little subscribe button on our YouTube channel, ring the bell. And then make sure you also subscribe to our SoundCloud and Apple Podcast. We need more followers,
all platforms.
Also, make sure you tell your friends about our podcast.
Yes.
And tell them to follow us. Share us on like your stories and shit.
Absolutely, please. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah, we're trying
Comment,
to grow.
share.
And if you want to be on our show, like hit us up.
Ooh, yes, we're introducing a whole bunch of guests this year.
Yeah, we really want to have so many more guests.
Yeah.
Not every episode, but we do want to definitely help promote our friends.
Absolutely.
Like we did with Natalie last week and her new website, which is doing fabulous. We haven't checked it out.
She's absolutely amazing.
She is. I love Natalie.
Yes.
I'm going to hug her. We need to ask
and
how
next
her day
week.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah,
I feel very slighted.
Yes, and next week we're also having our friend Sheila, who is a weight loss coach, coming on here because the month of February we really want to focus on our self-love and self-care.
Yes.
And we want to start with getting our mind, body, and souls correct.
It's about us.
It is. It's very much about us.
Exactly.
Per usual. But today is really about us.
Truly about us. About the beginning of the PAB podcast.
The pettiness. And so today we're actually going to watch clips back from our original episode. I'm a little nervous.
Same. Cringe. I don't want to
I do feel like we've grown a lot since then. I do feel I speak a little bit better.
Thank God.
The accomplishments of a 31-year-old.
You know, it's the small things in life.
Listen, it's hard.
It's the small victories. Small victories.
Talking is hard.
Like we said last week.
That's going to be my new hashtag.
Talking is hard. Oh, Lord. God help you. What's that Southern saying? Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart.
All right. I don't like you anymore. I'm done talking to you.
All right. So let's get started.
Are we starting from the beginning?
We'll probably skip through and, jump back and forth.
Oh, we didn't have our music video.
We did not.
No. See, there's already an improvement.
Yes.
You didn't have your mic in front of you. All right, so let's go to our first little segment.
Okay, but you've been in front of the camera in front of a mic before, so you should know. Yeah. You should know. Hold on.
Almost there. There we go. Sorry.
So we started this podcast, because we wanted to have great conversations with one another and explain the struggles of life with millennials.
I feel like I look so
Everybody
different.
thinks that millennials are lazy.
I mean, we both do.
They think that they deserve everything that's coming to them, and it's not really how millennials are. Honestly, I am the least lazy person I know.
You're a Virgo through and through.
I know I am. I'm a perfectionist. It's really annoying. There are certain things about me that I get annoyed with that I need to learn to let go. And I've learned that through the past year or so, to let some things go and just like go with the flow of life. And I'm at that point where I'm just kind of...
I think since 2020, we've learned how to do that.
What, let go?
Like, actually, like, let go.
Yeah, I agree
Put it
and
into
disagree with
practice.
it. I think, like, this morning, me being annoyed with some shit, but, like...
I mean, but that's... Actually, I think we talk about that. That situation where you just don't... When you can't let it go and, you know,
but
things
no,
pop
I
off.
do agree. I think we both have learned to accept what's happening in our lives, and we're learning to maneuver around it.
Absolutely.
I have let go of being perfectionist of certain things. Because I, like, my own life situation, being a perfectionist at my job, and it didn't end up working out well this past year.
Right.
And you know what?
Everything happens for a reason. So,
does.
I mean, technically, it kind of did work out.
No, it did, because I will say this through and through. It was the greatest blessing that's ever happened to me.
Absolutely.
Like, I've realized the real things that I want to do with my life, and now putting that into motion, like we did with this podcast.
Facts.
So,
Big facts.
oh, hold on.
Whatever. Like, when it's meant to happen, it will happen.
Yeah, that definitely has changed about you. But it's one of those things where it's
Oh, poor Jay.
Aw, JJ.
sorry, there's a little 1-year-old walking around the house, and it's
We
adorable.
need to have
when
Deja
he
on
laughs. But yeah, it's one of those things
We need to have
where
Deja.
millennials get a bad rap from people who are older than us, frankly. Sometimes people who are younger than us.
Well, we get mistaken for, I think, the generation after us. Like, millennials.
You know, I do want to talk about that, because I do think, like, this past year with all the protests and riots and going on and, like, with social media,
Yeah.
I think now more so millennials are being overlooked so much. Like, I see it on TikTok a lot that, like, they're always saying that Gen Zers are the ones that actually helping start all the protests and helping to make the changes and stuff. And I don't think that's necessarily true.
I don't think that's true either.
I think we're overlooked because I think as millennials, I think we are more laid back with certain things.
We're not as loud.
Yeah.
If we are doing stuff, it's behind the scenes. We're not very, like, social media inclined to put everything online like Gen
Zers are. I also think, like, we want to do the work behind it before we say what we're doing.
Absolutely.
So I think that was a very important thing that, like, I think we've grown and realized that that's different between last year and now.
A lot has changed.
Technology and grew with it. Like, we're
TikTok.
brothers and sisters almost. Technology.
Actually, TikTok has been here for a while.
Like,
It's been here for a
the
year.
generation after us.
No,
where
longer than
they
a
had
year.
nothing but
It's been here for,
iPads
like,
and games and
2 or 3
instant
years.
TV
Well,
and
damn.
instant this and instant that and instant social media hits. Whereas we've had to figure out technology as technology was
That's
figuring
okay.
out itself.
I had to set up my first computer. I had to deal with dial-up. AIM was a thing.
Yeah. You've got mail.
Yeah.
Which is a great movie, by the way.
Oh my god.
It is a great movie. I love Tom Hanks.
There's a lot of movies.
Actually, I still haven't seen it.
What movie have you not
Shut
seen?
the fuck up.
Every time.
I actually really don't know the answer.
Devil Wears Prada.
Have you seen
I
Devil Wears
haven't.
Prada? Okay, then.
I've never seen the movie.
But I know
Some
the
things
reference.
have not
And
changed.
it does speak volumes because we were just.
Can I just see? I do know all the reference from it, though.
Do I know the references of...
You've Got Mail?
I mean...
I may have never seen it, but I understand that Meryl Streep's character is like complete twat waffle. Sorry.
I just know... Was it Meg Ryan? No, Meg Ryan.
It was Meg Ryan.
Is it Meg Ryan? Okay, that's
Yeah.
pretty much all I know.
Go away.
fashion and how it's very much a part of art. It's a part of creativity, and
I still stand by the fact that I think some of the fashion designers are playing a joke on you people.
I still stand by that. Still stand by that.
I can't.
It doesn't make the world. It has to make the world go round.
Yes, so we wanted to also make sure that you guys are a part of our conversation. That's why we've been
Comment below.
Yeah, comment below. I do think, if you don't think that fashion designers are screwing with you people, please tell me that I'm wrong.
It's art. It's not meant to be wearable all the time. It's just meant to look pretty. But it's a form of art you can wear. Just like some paintings, some people just don't get. Sculptures, some people just don't get. But it is still art in its own form. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways.
So, I mean...
Yeah. Let's go.
That's pretty much how
we got started.
Why we wanted to create the podcast. Why we wanted to start the podcast.
We're also judging each other throughout this entire time. I don't do a good job earlier. That's so fair.
Because I'm reading the time and I'm like,
why is it not playing though?
This has been
a struggle. I stopped playing with my notes. I'm saying myself to it and then doing it.
We went through so many names and going back and forth. So, like, the real name of our podcast is Petty Ass Bitches.
Because that's who we are.
Yes. At the end of the day, that is who we are. We're so proud of that.
Yes.
But with that name, we want to eventually make this a real show someday. You know, have goals in life. And our goals were always to be in front of the camera or in front of a mic speaking for people. So this would be our way of getting to that goal.
Sorry.
I don't know what you're doing over there.
I'm so awkward.
the burping.
Let's get the champagne.
I know, but the burping is hilarious.
It's funny. Before we recorded, Ariel was like, we should have gotten champagne. I'm like, don't you remember we kept burping in the middle of it because of all the bubbles? Yeah. Like, I don't think that'd be a good look.
It's not a good look. It wasn't a good look, obviously. Honestly, I'm looking at the video and I'm like, the editing. We didn't have our intro video.
No.
The editing at 10. Technically, I do the video editing portion of the podcast.
I do the audio part, and I feel like we both have grown a lot with learning how the technical behind it.
Exactly. How we do it, the color, we look so washed out.
Yeah, we look very gray.
Yeah, it's not a good look. I mean, we changed our setup, our headphones, our lighting.
And I definitely like the back. I did not like the white. But that's like the white headphones.
Oh, no.
I like the black better, but I like black everything.
Exactly. Yes, slut.
I like black. I could mean like I like black clothes, black shoes.
Yes, but that's not what you meant. I'm sure that's what you could have meant, but I know you.
Rude.
So, we're going back and forth on picking out names. We went through so many different names, so we wouldn't have to go by petty ass bitches because in the business world, using curse words tends to be frowned upon, which I don't get that in the 21st century anymore because
I do remember that. Like, I was also getting low-key annoyed that we couldn't use, like, petty ass bitches. Like,
when we were, like, signing up to banks, some banks don't allow you to...
Profanity, which...
don't let you open an account with them if you have profane language in your name.
But yet we allow a former president to say, let's grab him by the crotch, but whatever.
Lord.
Just saying.
That
was me being petty, sorry.
Words have different meanings now.
But
I
it's
had
nice to
a
say
very
former
good discussion with my
former president.
cousin about the word bitch because it's in past considered very derogatory and offensive towards women. Whether you believe that or you don't, that's your own opinion and your
Depends
own
on how it's used.
But
all about tone, people.
Exactly. It's about how you say it, not what you say. If someone's calling me with all the might in their soul, I'm gonna, question and ask, and will I get offended?
I also think our camera presence has gotten a lot better. I don't think we're as awkward.
Yeah, definitely.
We see it as proud business boss
like bitches. A bad bitch, like Nicki Minaj was rapping about.
It's positive for us. Yes, there are different connotations to it. Goes along with the N-word. Asians were in the past called Oriental, which is not a description for Asian people.
I feel like I look so awkward.
and you calling a culture.
This is our first video. I mean, we did pretty damn good for our first situation.
Yeah.
No one is trying to be offensive. No one is trying to be controversial. It's just how we feel about ourselves, and for us, being petty, being a bitch, it's human. It's a trait that you have, good or bad. You can have the mean ones and the nasty ones, but you could also have the ones that
deep.
do good and
let's not get
that
crooked, right?
show power and strength, and that's what we're gearing to.
Yes. So I also feel like the word bitch can mean something powerful. Mm-hmm. Like you said, a boss woman. Like there's so many negative connotations even with it in that term. I just think it's the way that you represent it. Right. In a sense.
Like,
so we went back and forth
for I'm saying.
Madam Vice President,
6 months, actually. It was just probably back in October. We decided to finally just go with petty ass bitches.
No, just dive deep. we were sticking our toe in the shallow and we're like, should we? No, let's not. And then literally at the very end, we're like
last month, we decided just to go by the PAB podcast just because of the fact that we plan.
I find that crazy that in a month's time we created
all of our graphics. Thanks to Jake.
Thank you, Jake.
Jake Nicholas Creative. Go check him out. He has designed our logo, the template for me to make our in cards. Like
our little when you see our handles, that's
all Jake.
Yeah.
He's
amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
We would be lost without him.
Facts. I'm thinking we need like an update. Actually, as I'm editing things, I'm like, oh, I need to contact him and see if we can like get the bell and get all the like fun stuff included.
The fun stuff.
I mean, for someone who edits, I find it fun. I'm like, I want all the like gizmos and buttons.
That's all you. Yeah. I hate editing video. I'll stick to the audio.
I low key love it. Getting up to do it, I'm just like, doing it, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no.
I love it.
I like doing the audio, and then I like making the graphics, and I actually do like doing the whole show prep stuff.
Yeah.
But I also think that's the Virgo in me that's like, oh, we gotta make sure we have everything, like.
But I find that amazing. Like, in a month, we created something that we've had for now.
A year. Our baby.
I know.
I think it's very amazing, though, that we said that we were going to do something and we stuck to it.
Absolutely.
And like to me that's like one of the greatest, this podcast is probably one of the greatest accomplishments.
Facts.
I think.
Absolutely. It's something that for me, I felt very vulnerable and very apprehensive about putting myself on the internet for life. That
it is for life.
It is for life. So I'm just like, I'm still not the greatest at social media, but I think I'm much better than when we first started.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And just being in.
Although Jess might
I said
disagree.
much better. I'm still not great. I'm much better.
I feel like I overpost, so I'm trying to like rein it in a little.
Don't rein it in. You're my. We balance each other out. Don't rein it in. But it's one of those things where I think the year prior I had a goal to like finish a bullet journal.
Yeah.
This year or last year was I want to start a podcast and keep it going. Yeah. So I think we've accomplished our goals.
We have. We're just like.
Yes. Check. Yeah.
I'm allowed. I'm naturally loud. We talked
Very
about this.
True.
We did talk about this last week that I'm just like a naturally loud person.
You're a flamboyant human being.
Flamboyant. Mm-hmm. I always associate that word with
gay.
Yeah. No. So like, I'm like, but I'm not gay.
Yeah,
I like men. I like penises.
So do they.
That's true.
They have such a bad rap. We need to talk about all the different myths that go along with millennials. So we looked up some because we thought it'd be
short and sweet.
Oh, I forgot we asked these questions.
Yeah.
I do some.
Honestly, it was Jess who remembered everything. I was like,
I know, Jess, I'm very proud of you.
I don't recall shit.
Jess, unfortunately, is sick, who is our producer, our social media
She's here today.
guru.
She is.
The one who's helping us post and caption and everything else.
I'm glad we didn't do champagne.
So she's slowly dying.
Well, luckily, Jess did not die.
She's alive and well and sitting right there.
Face, why did you? Although my face isn't that great, but your face.
I think that's my permanent, like my default setting.
I need you to play. I can't keep looking at that.
I mean, I could.
It's a fact of life.
Deja is
stepping in like the rock star that she is.
We did have a rough
start that day. On time and make sure that.
I remember because this will be posted on the 26th. I remember after we finished filming, because we put our phones on airplane mode when we film, so we don't get distracted or any interruptions. And when we turned on our phones, we got all these notifications about Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
So I was just like, it was literally a day to remember.
It was.
Because there
was so much chaos that day between just getting sick, Deja coming, JJ running around.
My mom, we were literally like looking. Yeah, that's also something changed. My mom's no longer here. Like, but that day was full of all these different situations, circumstances happening all at the same time. And
it was a crazy day that day.
Yes.
But we still pulled through and recorded an episode. And
we had technical difficulty. Oh my gosh, it was a mess.
It was, but we did
it. was a hot mess, but we did it.
I also think that like shows our character a lot. That like we
persevered.
We didn't let something small or tiny stop us. And like
absolutely,
Jesus was like, "Hey, I want to challenge you girls today." Like,
let's see if you can handle it.
And we did.
Absolutely,
we did.
absolutely.
So I'm very proud of that with us.
Yeah, God don't give you anything you can't handle.
Yeah,
so
don't even get me started. That's a whole other.
I mean, but here you are. You're here. You're successful. You're happy. You're healthy.
It just makes me ask too many damn questions.
But you know, that's life. That is also very much life. And speaking of, Kobe Bryant, may he rest in peace, as well as Gianna, rest in peace.
Yeah.
But Larry King today. Sunday. I don't even know what today's date is.
Today is Saturday, not Sunday.
Oh, something also changed. We used to film on Sundays.
But it's Saturday, January 23rd, if I'm correct. Yes, January 23rd.
So,
passed away.
Larry King, R.I.P. to the OG That's radio.
Really why stuff always happens when we record? I need it to stop.
I mean, we'll always remember it.
That's
and
true.
We'll always remember the people who, inspired and contributed to who we are and what we are doing now. So
for sure.
I mean, there's blessing with every
crisis. Yeah. Blessings, I guess. I'll take your word for it.
Ranting. Ranting, which is a very important thing that we do not want. We don't want to sound like we're ranting. So the first myth that we found is that millennials are addicted to their smartphones.
We got better.
As you see, that we both have our smartphones on us. I also have my Apple Watch on.
I have my Apple Watch on still. I did take it off for a while though.
I hate to admit it though.
I think most millennials, they do love their phone connected to their palm. If they could have it in their wrist, they would.
Do you think that's still true though? Do you think millennials
Yes. I mean, I don't think that's going to change. Situations like that, I don't think will change. But I
know what's going on over there.
just double fisting over here.
Do you, boo? Do you?
Multitasking at its finest.
No.
But it's one of those things where I'm still the same. I still leave my phone in my vehicle.
It's really annoying sometimes. I'm like, Erica, I need a fucking answer.
But also, I'm at work. So half the time I get text messages, I am working and or sleeping and or relaxing and don't feel like picking up my phone.
You always pick up the phone for me, bitch. Thanks.
I pick up the phone for everybody.
I've left my phone in my car, gone the entire night. People text, call me. I don't pick up because my phone is nowhere near me. So I'm one of those exception to the rule fact myth people. I don't keep my phone will die. My phone will be lost. I don't know where it is. It's in the couch cushion somewhere. And I continue to go about my day.
I hate you for that.
So, I mean, I gather most
I'm the complete opposite.
Different. I'm just
different.
I'm still very different.
And I hate to admit this because it's funny too because like I'll lose my phone and my phone will be like I can't find my phone. Dumbass.
I'm still like that.
Well, my mom's done with that.
I do think I've gotten better.
Yes, because I haven't seen you. Well, I mean, we don't spend as much time as we used to together.
No, but I've gotten better. Like, there's sometimes I just don't respond to text messages because I am in the middle of something, and
or you just want to relax.
I do. I do think that 2020 did help me like realize that I need to put the phone aside or not respond.
Like decompress.
I think that's so important. I don't keep my phone on me all the time, but then again, I have been wearing my watch more. So, but too, I do turn my phone on airplane mode sometimes or do not disturb. I do have like a set bedtime now, so my phone goes on do not disturb.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
I should have that.
You should.
But honestly, I don't think I would turn it back on.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you can set a time frame for it to go off and on.
Okay.
So like I set mine for 9 p.m. and then it goes back on at like 4:45, which is the time that I wake up every morning.
Okay.
So.
Well, I got a new job, so I'm not sure if I can do that. We'll find out. We'll see.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
I'm honestly sure you can. They all can. Your own coworkers can.
I mean, well, yeah. We should be able to.
Yeah.
We should be able to.
Let's not get cray.
Glasses
on
her face as she's staring directly at me with her stick.
I'm not done that yet.
Dude, can you see me?
No, but I do hate to admit that I am one of those people that needs to know where my phone is at all times. I do try to put my phone off to the side or like have it near me at least, but I do try to keep it off to the side. Uninformed about the facts.
I don't think that's true. I think with the
I still agree that we're not.
The Me Too movement, the
Black Lives Matter now.
Yeah, so
gun rights,
I think 2020 actually made it. Since we filmed the podcast, our first podcast, I would always say like I read the headlines and I really wouldn't like read the news behind it. I mean, to a certain degree, I wouldn't read the news behind it, and I would only go to celebrity news. But I think since 2020 and so many big things have been happening, I've noticed that I've, opened up news articles and like read, information that is needed. And
I feel like I'm more prone to like do more research. Like I've always would read like the news story and then like I would go research stuff.
Yeah.
All the time. Just because, like, you can't believe everything the media tells you or whatever social media tells you.
Exactly.
But I think I've become more of an advocate to actually, like, learn how to do that. I don't know whose phone just went off.
Probably mine, but I could have sworn. Anyways.
But, yeah, I do think it's so much more important now, especially because, like, I think between having Trump, being president, the whole Black Lives Matter movement, Antifa with all the riots, what just happened. COVID, what happened at the Capitol building, like the election alone, that was just, I think it's so important to do actual research and not just read your local news or the national news. You need to go actually look, because you can look up news stories in different states.
Yeah,
and people don't realize that to actually really to go and see. You can also look up actual documents that happens within the Senate and the House. Absolutely. And people don't realize that.
Yeah, it's public information. It's your American right to have access to that information. So many people
don't do that. And I've noticed it more so now, even with some of my family members. And I am happy with some of them that, like, the past couple elections have made them more involved into what's going on in our government, but they don't actually do the research behind it.
Right.
And it upsets me a little because it hurts to know that people are so uninformed about what is going on.
Right.
I think that they are so informed because, like, if I based off everything that I've learned or know
on everything you say,
like,
you would be a dumb human
being. And I feel like that's what a lot of people do, or they base it off what's on social media. And
Absolutely.
It's very sad that that's like what is going on in this world.
Absolutely. No, that's 100% true, honest facts. Because
but I don't think that's just millennials who are uninformed. It's boomers, it's Gen Zers, and believing everything that's on TikTok or believing everything that's on Instagram or on Facebook. That's every
remember
single
all
one
of those, all of everything, even news is technically a form of entertainment.
It is.
So be careful what you listen to. Be careful of who you listen to, and like Estelle said, do your research. Like,
always do your research.
Be your own informant.
It is being your informant, and I think that's one of the greatest things about having a degree in journalism, that I know to do that. So, back to this.
Pretty much present, and we're the first to protest, and we're the first to fight against inequality.
Sorry, I also think it's another important thing, because I think everybody keeps saying that Gen Zers were like the first people to be at the Black Lives Matter movements and to organize that. I don't necessarily think that's true either. Like, I think I think we just talked about earlier that we were just, millennials are more like doing that behind the scenes and doing their research first before they actually.
We're just not as loud.
Yeah.
Gen Z is louder with their presence. Yeah. We are not. We're very like you said, we're behind the scenes. We're making sure that it happens. We're
making sure we have our ducks in a row before we're all well informed before that we do anything. So I think that's also another important thing to say.
So I
look drunk right there.
I agree and disagree. Like, I agree with those points. I do think we do get misinformed. I believe sometimes.
But we're not uninformed.
No,
we are very.
It depends on what it is. If you're being misinformed about something and ranting and raving about whatever misinformation that you've been given.
But I mean, that's we're informed to a degree. Like we're not living life uninformed about what's happening in Syria. Like we know what's going on. We know what's going on.
Well, we're half informed, I would say. I don't think we know everything that's going on.
But I don't think that's millennials' fault.
No,
I think that's media's fault.
The media, the governments, they don't want us to know everything that's going on. But
let's go to the
next question. It depends on the person, too. I think if you don't really care about something, you're not going to be informed about it. I do think a lot of millennials are uninformed. There we go. 60-40. Yeah. Millennials, number 3. Millennials are self-absorbed. I think this depends on the moment. Like, earlier, Ariel was talking to me.
Can I tell you, I forgot about this moment, too, FYI.
I want to bring it back to, I'm noticing I'm scratching my nose because you're scratching your nose. You were saying, like, I'm scratching my nose as I'm like, damn. But yes, I also forgot about, I technically kind of forgot about this whole episode. When I was filming it, I low-key blacked out. I low-key blacked out.
The secrets are revealed.
Because I was so nervous. Even, like, she can tell.
She's still, like, I don't get it. You still get nervous.
Not really. Not anymore.
You still sometimes.
Sometimes, depending on what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, before every app, I would just get, like, this pit in my stomach. I would, like, go into, like, cold sweat. I was just like, I was a mess. I was so nervous, and as I was talking, I would think about everything. Yeah. Like, I would just be looking at, my mind was going 500, how I could actually form a sentence, but, like, my mind was going a mile a minute.
True show business person. Been able to turn it off and on.
Exactly. But the stress.
But self-absorbed. Do you think that we're self-absorbed? I might be a little bit.
Again, I think we made this the point here as well. It's not just us. It's, I mean. I
also do feel like I've become more self-absorbed, but I think in a good way because I've spent so much self-care and self-love. Like, I feel like I didn't get enough of it from outside sources, which you should never depend on. And I'm learning to give it to myself.
Absolutely.
So that's why you be seeing a lot of pictures of myself on my Instagram, girl. Feeling myself.
Yes. And honestly, in the past few months, I've realized that if I'm going to be happy, if I'm going to be successful, if I'm going to be good in my own skin, I truly have to rely on myself. You do. And, with everything happening personally in my life, the people, I can still count on people, but the people that I thought I could count on through and through from beginning to end, I slowly realized that that's not the case. Yeah. And of course, and like I said, like I can count on people. It's just I have to count on myself first.
That is very true. So you have to hold yourself accountable.
Exactly. So I think in the past few months,
they're very soft.
And they're always soft. But in the past few months, I think both of us have really come into our own.
I agree.
And you can thank the podcast. Thank you so much for everybody who listens or
helps encourages us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just supports us in this whole process.
For sure.
You know, it's funny too because I had lunch with some of my coworkers yesterday, and I didn't even realize that they were listening or watching our podcast.
That's crazy.
So that was like another. I'm like, oh, like you didn't say anything. It's like because we're watching you grow, and it's nice to watch that.
Absolutely, and even having Natalie on our podcast last week. Just having her here see what we do, and then her realizing like, oh my gosh, because Natalie. Fun fact: Natalie was with us from the beginning. She was one of the
also
first.
One of our biggest supporters.
Yes,
she had never been on set here, like knowing what went on behind scenes.
Exactly.
And she was like at awe about like how like even though like for us like we think our setup is like mediocre.
It's all right. Honestly, every person who sees our setup, they're like, I would have never expected it to look like this.
Yeah, we had it set up. I guess like our real studio, I feel like we need like more fancier things.
Yes, for
sure. Like our expectations are up here and everybody's like, oh, it's here.
But they're like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
It's one of those things where it's just like the people who have been with us from the beginning. Natalie was one of the first people that we talked to about the podcast. Yeah. So just having her here.
Being able to help her launch her website.
Being very incredibly proud of her for doing, again, we're all about accountability. If you say you're going to do it, do it. And do it to the best of your ability. Natalie has always been number one to do that. And I think it also helps inspire us.
Yeah, I admire her so much.
Yes. And
I don't think she realized how much we admire her.
But it's one of those things where she was one of those people like, we're going to do it because we have all these people in our lives that
are doing the things that they said they would do. And
for sure.
We need to do the same.
For sure. So, I mean, are we self-absorbed?
I am. And I'm not ashamed to say it.
A little.
Not ashamed
Actually,
to say
a whole lot.
I am not ashamed to say it. I am self-absorbed.
Hey, I mean, there's
funny
also
how it used
a
to be such a
negative
connotation behind it.
Exactly. I think it's positive. Being self-absorbed does not mean that you don't care for others. Estelle will tell you, and she can tell, and I will tell you, like, no matter how much we're in it for ourselves, we're in it for each other as well.
Yeah, and we're also so focused on our friends and what they're doing.
Exactly.
And we're helping encourage them grow, which is one of the reasons why we want you guys to tell us that you want to be on here, because we want to help you all as well.
Yes. This has been such a blessing for us. And I don't think we ever...
No, keep talking.
I don't think we ever really realized how big of a blessing it would be. We were just hoping, something would come out of it. And I don't know if it was external validation, but it ended up being completely internal validation. So, I mean, again, thank you. So much. Yeah, thank you for providing a platform for us to...
Can we also just look like I'm getting ready to praise the Lord here?
Both of us are. We're like, Lord Jesus, help us through.
Millennials love whining about student loans.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I feel like who doesn't?
Yes, we do.
And it is not student loans that we're complaining about. It's about some other debt that somebody has.
So I do think it's very important that we talk about this because Joe Biden did just sign, whatever the fuck it is, I forget what they're called. But he did sign that.
Is it an amendment? Not an amendment. I know, damn.
Anyways, but he did sign that student loans are being forbearance until September, which is a great thing. But I do know that his administration also wants to work on helping people pay off their debt, student loans up to $10,000.
Yeah, honestly, the government has helped so much with small businesses in general since COVID. I'm very proud of our U.S. government for helping, the small folk, but also the big folk, because it's been.
It's been a rough year for everybody, I think, regardless. Nobody was really out spending money, and our economy was going down, and being helpful of that, even being helpful of the individuals, I do think maybe a little bit more like other countries were. But we do, this is the other thing people don't realize, like, at the end of the day, even those other countries that, like, let's say Canada, they were giving $2,000 every week. I think it was every week. I could be wrong. I could be misinformed.
That sounds like a lot of money.
Maybe every month. It may have been every month that they were giving them $2,000, but they do eventually have to pay that back. Taxes.
Technically, we all have to pay that back.
Yeah. So. We all have to pay that back. Like, it's more benefit, but our government, we're already in so much debt as it is, and I can understand it to that point, but yet we need to have more mandates on people wearing masks. I know, like, if you're not going to give us the money to help,
then help us be healthy and stay COVID free. Appreciate it.
I talk about this all the time because when I went to Jamaica, I had to give away my firstborn child with all this COVID tests and stuff. And when I came back, I got so mad because when I got into Jamaica, before I even went through customs, I had to go through like a COVID customs, and like they do more testing on me, ask me all these questions, go through all my paperwork, and then I went through regular customs. The people that come from Jamaica here didn't have to do any of that.
No.
And that to me was just telling me, here in America, we're just letting everybody in willy-nilly, and I think no government is perfect. I do think, though.
There's always, learning curves that we have to, put into play, but
I think as a country, we need to learn to help ourselves more and stop worrying about everybody else.
I think as a world, we need to learn from each other. I mean, our country, we really need to learn from other people.
We do. Well, I think as U.S. and being like this great nation that everybody wants to come to, I think part of the problem is that we feel that we're a world leader and that we have to take care of everybody else. And I think that's something that, it goes back to self-love and self-care. And being selfish, I do think that's such an important thing that our country needs to do, is that we need to reflect inside ourselves and stop worrying about what's going on over there. We need to take care of ourselves.
But in that vein, I know a lot of Republicans or like hardcore patriots of America have that same sentiment. In the most positive way, in the most non-judgmental or non-damning way, we need to, know to take care of ourselves first, but not, for lack of a better word, shit on other people.
I agree to that.
Like, you can love yourself without berating somebody else.
Well, if you're berating somebody, that obviously means that you're not loving yourself.
Exactly. So, like, her sentiment, because I don't want anybody to get confused about, like, we need to watch out for ourselves, because a lot of that has been said before, just in the wrong way. And again, it's all about tone. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. So I just don't want anybody to get confused that what Estelle is saying is, yes, we need to care about ourselves, but we also, in that vein, like, you can have compassion for others at the same time.
Oh, for sure.
And that's something that gets lost in translation.
But I think we also just said that, like, with our podcast and everything, we may have done something for ourselves, but we also, too, are trying to help promote our friends as well.
Yes.
And bring them up and uplift them and make sure that they're going to be successful.
And not just, but, like, we're also we decided to put ourselves out there because we don't know who's watching. We have an idea of who's watching, but we don't
and
know
what they're really doing it for. Sorry, my petty just gave out.
But we don't know.
And you know who you are.
What we're doing it for.
Sorry.
We don't.
Subliminal messaging. Sorry.
Yeah, I need you to rein it in. But also, honestly, like, I hoped that, our words, our views, our opinions, if you agree with them, if you needed to hear them, they're there for you. So, I mean, as much as it's been a blessing for us, we wanted to also be a helpful tool for you as well to get through life, especially after last year.
Yeah, no, especially. And our last and final myth.
Yo. Is it the last and final minute?
Yeah. We already made it all the way there. I keep forgetting I have to hit play.
Millennials are just as well off as previous generations.
Well, it's still yes and no.
See,
Yes and no.
I agree and disagree with this again because I do think back when our parents were going through what we were going through at our age, they were able to buy a house at our age.
Mm-hmm.
They owned their own house. They were starting their own family. They could support a family. Yes, it probably was hard, but they were able to do those things.
Well, I think the cost of living and how
I've become
we're
better
being
at speaking.
paid is two different scenarios that have definitely changed. With our student loans, that also pays our debt. That plays a part.
I look so relaxed.
The difficulty that
Your bow-leggedness.
I'm trying. Like, you can see my bow-leggedness in my knees.
Earlier in life, our parents were getting married at 18 years old, having children at 20. Me at 18 and at 20, oh hell no. That was
Still facts.
My mom was married 3 times, and one of them was at the age of 18.
Your mother wants the world.
I'm just saying. I do agree. Still agree. I still agree to this.
Absolutely. Honestly, and it's crazy because it's a testament about how much things have changed because my mom and my dad, at the age I am now, they had full-blown families. But we're in the same season of life, technically, right now all together in different ages. They're baby boomers and I'm a millennial. But we're all in the same season of life currently.
Figuring out your next steps. Reflecting.
Yes.
Sorry. I am on my petty
Yes,
today.
it truly. But technically, it's my petty that you've just taken a hold of.
Yeah, but I'm just like...
That's how you know. That's a true friend. That's a true bitch.
I've also woke up petty this morning, but that's a whole nother...
I think we both woke up like... I ended up falling asleep as I was trying to figure out all this situation. But I woke up like... Damn, how am I going to do this?
No, I woke up petty because it just...
That's just how you
arise.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure you went to sleep petty, and therefore you woke up petty. I was with her last night, and yeah, she went to sleep petty.
Listen, I'm just saying.
But
a lot of the things... My pettiness, though, is factual, all right? I'm just saying.
It's not factual. It's very much opinioned. It's a valid opinion. It's completely validated, but it's not fact. Mm-hmm. Experiences, perception is not fact. The more you know.
Anyways, I do think that millennials are not better off.
No, again, like millennials and baby boomers in this 2020 era, Gen Z, everybody right now in this 2021 era is going through the same
motions.
Yeah, we're all trying to reflect.
We're better off with the technology and like the things that we have, but naturally. I don't think mentally. I think our mental health is getting
financially, mentally. We're all in the same boat. We are all in the same boat, and obviously we filmed this January of last year, and COVID didn't really hit.
No, COVID was here, but it wasn't
as.
It wasn't a pandemic.
It wasn't a
yet.
presence. Yeah. It wasn't a presence until like 3 months later. But it's
not even 3 months because we
January, February, March.
But we're in the end of January, so it was.
Oh, true. 2 months. 2 months later.
If even a month and a half, because everything started shutting down March 13th. Around that time.
Wow.
The fact that I remember actual dates is a little scary.
But you've always been great at dates.
I have been.
I'm not surprised.
I'm in control of birthdays at work, and I know everybody's birthday. I also know everybody's anniversary.
When's my birthday?
Your birthday's July 5th.
Thanks.
When's my birthday?
September 2nd.
Okay.
We're just saying a lot because I'm horrible with birthdays.
She's the worst.
Thank God for Facebook.
She's the worst.
Can I just say?
People I'm not close with or like that I have to do it for work, I don't remember. But I remember, like I knew today was the 23rd. Like for some reason I remember Mondays and Saturdays.
I don't know.
I always
what
know
I
the dates
remember.
on Mondays and Saturdays.
That's weird. That's very...
It's very weird.
It's very weird.
It's a very weird skill that I have. But yeah.
Strange. Yeah. But what were we talking about? Honestly, I can't remember.
We were talking about if millennials are better off now than what baby boomers were.
No.
No.
20... Well, I think
the playing field has been leveled.
Everybody's starting at go. Like, everybody starts at go.
The game of Monopoly's over and it started over.
Yes. Because it ain't what it used to be. It ain't what it used to be. But it's one of those things where, yeah, everybody is starting from the beginning. Everybody is... It's reset. It's like reset. It's a reset.
It's a level playing field.
But I think our answer was the same last year, but it was just a different perception of the situation.
I also think we're a little wiser and not like as...
Hell yeah! I don't know how you can go through a pandemic and not be a little wiser.
I feel like I've aged.
Knock on wood, thank you so much for like keeping us healthy.
Yes,
keeping
we have yet to
our
COVID.
Family
our
members,
families have been helped.
Friends.
Although my cousin did get COVID, but she was asymptomatic.
Honestly, both my I found out family members got COVID and I didn't know about it. That was interesting to find out. But I mean, honestly, everybody, and I have to check on another family member that I have to tell you about later to make sure they're okay. But it's one of those things where it's just like, damn.
We've gotten very lucky.
We just went through a pandemic. We're still going through a pandemic. Yeah. It's a strange world we live in, but I can't help but to feel blessed
and thankful.
Yeah. So
agreed.
I mean,
cheers to
2020 for creating such a beautiful experience. Thank you for 2021.
Thank you for following us through this journey.
Absolutely. Subscribe. We're almost to 100, which in a year
I think is an accomplishment without us paying for advertising and shit.
Absolutely. This is all organic. We've done this without any help.
No, we've been doing this all on our own.
Yes, with, from our own pocket, from our own mind, body, and soul.
Like I said, I think this one, my greatest accomplishment was doing this podcast and actually saying I was going to do something and did it.
It's inspired me.
Yeah.
Having us do, and I didn't think I would ever get inspired by myself, like by me.
But I think that's so important. I think something to learn about yourself is that when you realize that you can do something, it inspires you to tackle on the next challenge of your life. And I think that's done that for both of us.
For sure.
And I'm very proud of both of us.
I am very proud of us.
And I'm proud that I've learned how to speak better.
Talking isn't so hard now.
It still is very hard. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and TikTok at the PAB Podcast. I need to stop saying "and" so much. But also make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Apple Podcast, as well as our SoundCloud. And you can follow me at Deshaka.
And me at Ariel.Hardy.
Thank you for celebrating our 1-year anniversary of having this podcast.
Happy birthday, PAB Podcast.
Happy birthday. We love you guys, and thank you so much. Mwah.